Tonight, from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Eagles.
It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And they're in on the first play from scrimmage. Our crew and you and I, we better strap in here.
That's what's commonly known as quick strike. Points on the board. This could be a fun game.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Giants take over
First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
a fumble on the play.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
That's good.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that way.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott to kick it away.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Operating from the gun, Jones. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here's Jackson to return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
35-yard line. 2 yards.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 yards on the play. 1st down. On 1st down, Sanders. This plays 12 yards that time and a first down. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Recovered by the Eagles.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
30-yard line.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. Add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And a long run into the end zone, and what a run it was.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
For 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Darius Slayton. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports.
Giants nothing.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Now Jones. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return, Jackson. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That's a punt return of 89 yards. And the Eagles continue to roll.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Elliott on for the extra point. He's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Giants take
now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection is struggle.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Brought down by Nate Gehring.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 17-yard.
Now Jones to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Golden Tate. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Jackson. Oh, he breaks another. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Talk about flipping the script. That punt return, 86 yards. And the Eagles are pouring it on.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Have to Remember, wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. Elliott good with a PAT, and a rout is on here in this first half.
So
after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
First and 10. At their own
and time to spotlight Golden Tate. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line.
26, Saquon.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
18-yard line.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
And Tate's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And with a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
First down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Jones throwing complete here to Tate. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Right back to him for 10 more and a first. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense.
And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Eagles. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him as we sit in the second quarter. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch.
Jones pass.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
It's a game.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Jones now on first down. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. With it is Jackson. Deshaun Jackson off to the races.
Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter.
And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him. Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go back to 8. And he's right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some great games still to come. And I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there as they get set to take on the Dallas Cowboys. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And lastly, in the national game on Sunday night, definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Now back to work for Miles Sanders and the Philly offense. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry?
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but you got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work. I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 39 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the